Hello and welcome to this introductory case study in this course, Master in Business Analysis. So, in this lecture, we will give you this case study of mastering business analysis and becoming a successful business analyst. How did one individual do that? That is what we'll talk about. So, this is a very relevant and inspiring capability building theme, isn't it? So here is a insightful case study that captures how an individual professional learned to master business analysis and transform into successful business analyst through problem solving and analytical depth and stakeholder alignment. How did that person transform himself or herself after having learned the business analysis process into a successful business analyst? That is what the case is about. So, name and face masked Sarah Thompson. The name, let's take that as a name um, to protect the privacy of the people involved. And she's an economics graduate from data report and in a from a recognized university, and she's working as a data reporting executive in a mid-sized logistic company. Her current goal, is to transition into a full-fledged, business analyst role. And but her challenge is that she knew how to collect and report data, but not how to convert insights into decisions. So that's the starting point. So let's dig deep into the challenge. So the challenge is, when her analysis fails to influence. Sarah's job was to prepare weekly Excel reports, uh, performance reports for operations and finance team. However, the finance teams and operations teams rarely discussed her reports. They were not part of the decision meetings, the reports. When she asked her manager why, the manager replied saying, Sarah, your data is accurate, right? But it doesn't help us decide what to do next. And that is why these reports are rarely discussed in the decision meeting. She realized that she wasn't missing the data skills. She had the data skills. What she was missing was the analysis thinking, which connects insight to strategy and execution. And as a result of that, her reports were basically stopping at insights without saying what could this mean for the business by if you took this decision. So that was the challenge that Sarah was facing, right? Interesting. So what was the turning point? So turning point was realizing that the data alone does not drive the challenge. Sarah enrolled in a business analysis mentorship program and learned that being a successful business analyst means understanding why the problem exists, just not what the problem is. Then identifying stakeholders and their true needs and translating the technical findings into business recommendation. So there were three more things that she needed to learn to do. And intelligently, she decided to use her current job as her learning lab, a place to practice real business analysis. So that was the turning point, as we see. So, what was the step by step process that Sarah used to become a strategic business analyst from a reporting analyst? It started, the first stage was to define problem, where the challenge was the operation teams complaining about the late delivery, say, for example. So, define that as the problem. And Sarah conducted root cause analysis with process owners, and the tools she used were like five whys and fishbone diagrams. And the result was that she identified that data entry delays, not driver inefficiency, were the root causes. Then, second stage was to gain an understanding of the stakeholders' true needs. The challenge was the conflicting priorities between operations and IT. And what Sarah did was mapped all stakeholders' influence and needs using tools like RACI matrix and stakeholder maps. And that created alignment by showing impact on customer satisfaction. The third stage was to, do the requirement elicitation, where the challenge was that IT team wanted technical specs and ops teams wanted visibility. So she conducted joint requirements workshops using stories, process mapping technique, etc. And that delivered clear functional requirements for a new dashboard. And the fourth stage was to convert data to insight, where the challenge was the data was presented without the context. And what she did was she combined delivery data with cost KPIs using tools like gap analysis, trend visualizations in Power BI. And she found that 18% cost saving potential through route optimization. And the last stage was strategy recommendation, where the challenge was unsure about the ROI. So she created a cost benefit and scenario analysis using decision metrics and business case templates. And the outcome was management approved pilot rollout of automated dispatch system. So that's the story of Sarah becoming a strategic business analyst from a reporting analyst. So, question you might ask is, so what was the breakthrough moment? So the breakthrough moment was when Sarah presented her findings to the leadership, but this time she structured her analysis differently. First, she defined the problem, which was she worded as late deliveries increase customer churn by 5% because management was interested is was has interest in reducing customer churn. So that was she defined the problem as. Then quantified the impact, you know, and showed that that is resulting in a revenue loss of $2.4 million every year. And that made the leadership team look at even closer, sit up more straight and look at the presentation. And then she proposed three scenarios with RI. By this time, she had got the leadership team involved and then outlined measurable KPIs post implementation. So instead of just sharing data as she used to do, she told a story of a business problem with clarity, logic, and numbers. And obviously, leadership approved her proposal. And she was appointed as a business analyst for logistics optimization projects. So that was the breakthrough moment. So let's take a look at this framework, the analyst framework roadmap for business analysis mastery that she used. You can also use it. Starts with analyzing the problem, just not the data. Focus is on problem definition and what you need to have build competencies, the root cause thinking. And a few things that you can do to learn is use 5 why before recommending a solution. There are many other techniques that we have two separate courses on this or root cause analysis. You can take a look at them. Then the second stage is to do the navigate the stakeholders. There you need the focus is on relationship management with these stakeholders and so that you can influence without authority. And for that you can conduct one-to-ones to uncover hidden needs of each of these key stakeholders. Maybe 5 or 6 at best or 8. Then you align requirement to business goals. So, and their whole idea is to align strategically and there the key competency is to elicit requirement and you can trace requirement so that you can trace each requirement to a business goal. In L, you learn process thinking, in which systems understanding is the key focus, and you do process modeling as a key competency. You create as is and to be workflows, and that is where the business analysis as a process is different from business analytics. Business analysis focuses a lot more on the process thinking. Then you yield insightful recommendations by focusing on data storytelling, doing visualization and communication. And for that, you can use dashboards and concise executive summaries. The penultimate step is support implementation with the focus on change management. And there you need to do user acceptance tests, feedback loops as competency development, and help team evaluate and validate the business outcome. And finally, is should be able to track the measurable impact, and you focus on KPI mentoring, and your key competency is to do continuous improvement where you review performance against the original business case. So that's the framework. So what was Tara thinking about the whole situation, whole experience? So she said, I used to think business analysis is all about Excel and reports. Don't we all think? Yeah. So, but she says, then I know now it's about uncovering the why, aligning people, the key stakeholders, and shaping what happens next, just not leaving it hanging there. So that was a very insightful reflection from Sarah. Then let's also talk about the capstone challenge, the warehouse cost crisis that Sarah helped focus on. So when fuel prices surged, warehouse costs rose sharply, right? And Sarah was asked to find ways to reduce costs by 10% without cutting staff. Now, at first, everyone blamed fuel costs, right? It was obvious on the sky. But Sarah applied her new business analysis thinking mindset. And as a problem that she framed was she separated fuel versus non-fuel expenses and found 65% of the cost increase due to underutilized routes. Then she took a deep data dive and where she combined GPS data with delivery volumes and detected 20% empty trucks trips. And then she did root cause analysis, asking five whys repeatedly, and found manual route assignment based on driver preference being the main cause. Then she made recommendation of a proposed algorithm-based dispatch system and predicted with that a cost saving of 12 to 15%. And the result, Pilot saved 14% in the first month, and Business Impact validated her role as a strategic business analyst. So what are the key lessons for building excellence in business analysis? Now, first, in the area of analytical thinking, you need to move from collect and report data to diagnose business problem, and that you can do by practicing define why before what. Then in the communication skill area, you need old mindset or share metrics. Here you need to start telling a business story. Use visuals and context for the impact. Right. Then in the area of stakeholder engagement, instead of taking requests, you need to co-create solution with the key stakeholders. And for that, you need to hold discovery workshops. And the last key skill is strategic impact. Instead of delivering reports, you need to drive measurable business outcomes by practicing tracking ROI of recommendations. So that's what the key lessons for building excellence in business analysis are. So what was the outcome? So within a year's time, 365 days, Sarah led three cross-departmental analytics projects, reduced logistics cost by 15%, became a go-to analyst for operations decision, and was promoted to senior business analyst. Rapid, fast progress, isn't it? And her reports were no longer informational, they were directional. Right? So that was the outcome. So, what is the final takeaway? See, a successful business analyst doesn't just handle data, they handle decisions. Excellence in business analysis is built on when you, as an individual, learn to ask the right questions before collecting data, find the root cause behind the surface level symptoms, bridge the gap between business goals and technical solution, and communicate insights that drive action. And that's a full loop. So what do we do next now? What else? We get on with looking at business analysis as a process. We'll take an overview of that as we go forward in the next section, and we have few case studies. So we'll talk to you about what are the various steps and building blocks of excellence in business analysis, and then rest of the course we will take you through details of each of those. So thank you so much for watching this introductory case study in this course, Master in Business Analysis. I hope you're beginning to learn new things, beginning to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.